I'm lifting and walking with it as I'm lifting it up, and I fall into a cesspool, and the piece of wood covers me. And Yitzi Sussman looks around, and he doesn't see me. He has no idea where I am. He's screaming, Eli, Eli. Bativ lo isa ha'adama, and I'm sitting there in the cesspool, and it smells geschmack, it's gewaldig, and basically, all of a sudden, somebody flushed the toilet. I think, in my mind, that's what happened. And there was a big surge. And I come flying up, and my head hits this board. And, I pop it open an inch or two, and I scream, help! And he realized I'm underneath. That's when he realized. He ran to the bungalow colony, and he got my parents. And Reb Shmuel Brazil was in tow. Because people asked Reb Shmuel Brazil, is this story true? He says, I was there. I ran to save him. So my mother ran, Aleh Shalom, and she broke her leg. As she was so stressed out that she tripped and broke her leg. And they grabbed me out. And as my father grabs me out of the cesspool, I say, Abba, my yarmulke's inside. He says, forget the yarmulke, forget the yarmulke. It's okay. And they washed me off. They gave me, everybody in the bungalow colony came by and gave me treats. It was kedai. I got some licorice out of it. So anyways, Reb Shmuel Brazil is an aid to one of my first stories. Maisers shekemat hayu. And here he is on this thing. Anyway. Real quickly, talking about me, what other opportunity do I have to talk about myself? I have here this is a text I got from David Hagal from Malibu. And he gives me the award. Today is my 250th streak, consecutive shear streak, as of today. It's all about the Yomi and the Safari, he writes. Daf Kuf Chof Tes. Then he wrote a nice little thing here. He goes like this. Where is it? Rebelli, please put humility aside for a moment. You know that's very, very difficult, but for you I will try. And celebrate your milestone of giving at least one Daf Yomi share for 250 consecutive days. Cal Ripken Jr. played 2,632 consecutive games, but he had days off in between games and never played 250 days in a row. For Rebelli, there are no days off. You are the true Iron Man. For thousands of people worldwide, the Yomi would not be possible without you. And the Chabura of loyal followers on 6 continents can't thank you enough for your selfless dedication to the shir. So thank you, David Agal. David Agal found us, I think it's almost 2 years ago. Maybe you could correct me. He is an avid surfer. There's not a day that goes by that he doesn't surf. He lives on the beach on Malibu. He actually has a surfboard stored in Eretz Yisrael. He comes a number of times a year. He surfs here, he surfs there. I think he found this like in Carousel or something. He was on a surf trip and he wanted to learn Torah. He never misses a day. He also has a huge streak. Never, ever, he constantly texts me and everything. Rabbi Isai, he writes over here, like I pulled out a text of his. He says like this is a while back. Even when I go to Australia, Costa Rica, Hawaii, or Tahiti, I'll still be on the shir, and that's the truth. So if anybody knows, he's unmarried, he's in his 40s, he's a great, great guy. He's a very nister guy, but he's looking for a girl that appreciates surfing. So if you know of somebody that's from and likes to surf or that kind of stuff, please contact me. We got to make another MDY shidduch here. All right. Before we go into this real quickly, I missed 2 words on top of Daf Kuf Chav Zayin Amud Beis. No one corrected me. And it's a big problem because there's a beautiful Rashi here that I must tell you. I know that we're late and I know that but we can't miss something like this. So the Gemara is talking about, because it's a beautiful sugya also, everybody's familiar with it. Elu dvarim she'elim shir. I said it, but a certain individual, I'm not going to mention his name, I love him dearly, he kind of interrupted me and I lost track at that moment and I went on. So it says like this, there's only 4 things that Elu dvarim she'elim shir. One, Gemilus Chasodim, very important to remember this one. 2, Shalom, peace, V'talmud Torah keneged kulam. But what about the mission that we say every day? Hachnosas kala, ulevais hameis, and the other things, Dalnikav schus that the Gemara brings down, different brises. So you turn the page over here, top word, Hani nami, bahani shaychi. I might have said Hani, I don't even know what I said. The point is that the Gemara says that all the other things are included in those 4. Says Rashi, beautiful Rashi. We should look inside if you can. Kuf Chav Zayin Amud Beis. They're all part of Gemilus Chesed. When you do Hachnosas Archim, we can understand that. Says Rashi, amazing, and don't forget this Rashi forever. V'iyun tefillah, having kavana by davening, hainu b'chlal gemilas chasadim. That's a gemilas chesed to who? To yourself. Unreal. You can do chesed with yourself. The chsiv goimel nafshoy, his own nefesh, ish chesed. That's Rashi number 1, amazing Rashi. Keep on going. Of course, if you bring your kids to school to learn Torah and you getting up early in the morning, that's Talmud Torah. Listen to this Rashi. And be melamed schus on your friend. That's how you bring peace. By preventative measures, that itself is peace. You say on your friend, he didn't mean to do something wrong to me. It was by mistake. He meant it for the good. Yesh shalom beineim, that is hava shalom ben chavera. That's included. Dan lekav schus is included. That. Okay, today's sugya. We're holding almost the daf weiter. We're holding 8 lines from the bottom. Daf kuf chof ches on the base. Today's daf is kuf chof tes. Omar mar baruch atah adonai eloheinu melech haolam shakol niyeh b'dvaroi. If Sam Gutman is on, or Gutman is on today, I just want to thank him in public. Before Shabbos, I got a beautiful bottle of wine from him and a bottle of schnapps. Very generous. Thank you. It gives me chizuk. No hints. I said, if you want to give me chizuk, bring more people to the shir, etc. But all these things, the emails, the little things, that was a big thing. It gives me chizuk. Even Ben's fan gives me chizuk. The t-shirts, chizuk. That's how I keep going. 250. By the way, for me, there are people that are robots. That's how they were born. They are naturally, they get into a rhythm and they just go and go and go. My father-in-law comes home every day, he cuts the same cucumber and he eats the same thing and he does the same and he gets up every day. Certain people have rhythm. I am the exact opposite. My personality is all over the place. I skydive and I scuba dive and I this and that. For me, 250, never happen again, I don't think. I have to thank Corona. To not be, I have to thank my partner, Benzi Friedman, for being there for me. It's 8 months, over 8 months I haven't been to my business. It's not, I can't even comprehend it. All right, you should koyach to everybody, but I'm saying these little things, they give me chizuk, they give me that push. There are days that I shouldn't be here. I'm a choila, whatever it is, sick in my head, depression, whatever, keep on going, you just keep on going. 250. All right, Zok te Gemara, Omar Mar. Chas v'shalom depression, but sometimes you could be down a little bit. Things happen in life. Omar Mar. Im hoysod tzricha lener. So we just mentioned if a woman who's giving birth needs a candle, you could light a fire for her. Pshita, she's a choyle sheyesh b'sakana. Of course, you need some light. Leitzricha besuma, she's blind. She doesn't need it at all. You would think, since she doesn't see it, there's no need. At the end of the day, it comforts her. Says the Magen Avram, how does it comfort her? How does she know? Just tell her you lit the candle. Says the Magen Avram, she could tell by the way people feel her. If they're like looking for her arm and they touch her eye by mistake, she chaps right away. There's no light. She could tell. But there's a very interesting Taisus here. The Taisus at the end of this, the last Taisus, he says, a woman giving birth is more susceptible to fear than other sick people. And then therefore, more than he says, on the other hand, we see there are Rishonim that say that even 1 out of 1,000 women, the Rishonim in those days say, even 1 out of 1,000 women don't die during childbirth. So in other ways, we're not as makel, but in Yatuvi Daita, to comfort her, we're very, very makel, even more so than a regular sick person. Why does she need it? She needs it that her friend should be able to see well and she should have an easy childbirth. If she needs oil, so we said she should bring it in her hand, she should make a shinoi. If not in her hand, put it in her hair. Okay, so if you put it in the hair, you're not over on tiltal, you're not carrying on Shabbos. What happened to schita? In order to get the oil out of her hair, she has to wring it out. That's schita. What's the issur of schita? Mefarek, dash. You're separating two objects, the shaft from the wheat from the shaft. So there's a famous saying in Shas, Ein schita b'seir. Why? the liquid doesn't go into the hair. The liquid is between the hair. What you're doing is squeezing out liquid that's on top of the hair. It doesn't penetrate the hair itself. Even if you hold that there is schita, what's going on here is not that the oil is in her hair. Rather, you take a bottle and you tie it to her hair, and that's how she walks through the Shusarabim. It's a real shinoi. The kamadev shel shanuyei mishanin lo. Okay. Any kind of change you could do, you do. As long as a woman, the woman who gave birth, as long as the womb is open, bein amr tzrichani, bein amr tzrichani. So listen to the lashon here. It's very important. Whether she requires help, she says straight out, I need you to do b'machal Shabbos for me. Bein loy amr tzrichani, or whether she doesn't say anything. Now, another way to read it, and this seems like this is how Rashi reads it, Bein Amra Lo Tzrichani. Whether she says, so one way to say is she didn't say anything, Parav. She didn't say anything, Lo Amra. But the other way to say is she says, I don't need it, don't do it for me, don't be Mechal Shabbos. But since her womb is open, she's a Chayil Shesh B'Sakana, you don't listen to her. Her friends say she needs it, finished. Big nafkamina. Whether she doesn't say it or she says, don't do it. She knows about her body. She knows what she needs. And we're going to override her and we're going to say, let's be Mechal Shabbos for her. Mechal is a Shabbos. Nista makever, but once the womb closes, Bein Amra Tzrichani. Tabadav Kufchof Tes. Whether she says, I need a Bein Lo Amra Tzrichani, Ei Mechal is a Shabbos. So whether she says she needs, Bein Lo Amra Tzrichani, Ei Mechal is a Shabbos. Rav Ashi Mas Na'ach. So that's Rav Ashi. Mazutra Masnachi. Mazutra says, Omer Rav Yudah, Omer Shmuel, Chayu Kozman Shal Kever Patuach, Bein Omer Tzrichani, Ubein Omer Ein Tzrichani, Mechalim Oleh Es Shabbos. So, over here, he definitely says, Ein Tzrichani. So, if we go with the way the Gemara says over there, so we read it as is, and we say that Marzutra right now is more Mekel. The Gemara before is saying she was Parav, and Marzutra adds, and he says, even if she says specifically, don't do it for me. You Mechal Shabbos. Says Rashi, why should it be Mechal Shabbos? Because her friends say she needs it. The Ran, other Rishonim say, even if her friends don't say, we just assume so. However, the Mishnah Berurah brings this down and he says, the halacha is like the Ran, you don't need friends, but if a doctor says straight out, she doesn't need it, obviously we listen to the doctor. You're not Mechal Shabbos. Nista makever, here's another kula that Marzutra says. Once the womb is closed, Amr Tzrichani Mechalim Alesa Shabbos, Amr Tzrichani Ein Mechalim Alesa Shabbos. Once the womb is closed, you do listen to her. Before Rav Ashi says, once the womb is closed, I don't care. You're not Mechal Shabbos anymore. Even if she says, I need something, you don't listen to her. Over here, if she requires it, she says, I need it, you listen to her. However, Lo Amr Tzrichani, if she doesn't require, Lo Mechalim Alesa Shabbos. So those are the two nafkaminas. When the womb is open, Mazur says, even if she denies help, you're Mechal Shabbos. And once the womb is closed, again he says, you listen to her. If she says, I need help, you listen to her. Where Rav Ashi says, even if she says, I need help, it's too late. You're like a regular person. Nista makever, you're healed already. So we have a kula, Marzutra is very mekel, Rav Ashi is machmer. Hilchas Kaman. Who's the halacha like? Rabbi side, this is a major halacha for all of Shas. Omalei halacha kimar zutra, safek nefashes lahakal. I printed out this Mishnah Berurah for myself. Maybe I'll put it, I forgot to put it on the chat. We should put it on this chat. If you were here, I would have probably printed one out for everybody. I'm going to read it inside. Simin Shin Chav Ches. Write this down. Shin Chav Ches, Simin Beis. If somebody has some sort of sakana, mitzvah lechalel olav Shabbos. It's a mitzvah to be mechal Shabbos. V'hazar is, the quicker you do it, harei meshubach. Right, Levi? V'hashoyel. And somebody that asks questions, harei shoyfech damim. You're a killer. You're a murderer for asking, going to the Rav. Says the Mishnah Berurah, mitzvah, perish l'asel refuah v'tamishim d'chsev v'chai bohem. You have to live with the Torah. The Torah is not here to kill you. The Torah is here to live. V'azar is fire. V'ashoyel, says the Mishnah Berurah. Perush. Oiso yeshu mischasid. Person that acts like a chassid, v'yoreh l'chalas Shabbos b'choil kozeh, ima yedei moira, ki ima yedei moira, unless he goes and asks a rav. Harei shevach dam. You don't ask a rabbi. When you have a safek nefashis, no rabbis. Also to ask a rabbi. Sheba'oitchu hoylech lishoil. By the time you pick up the phone to ask, yechlash ha'choila, the choila will become sicker. Yoiser v'yuchal istakin, will be a sakana for him. Because v'aymer lisamid adam re'echa. Ubishalmi isa, and it says in the Yerushalmi, hanishal harezim meguna. Not only that, says the Yerushalmi, the Rav is a bad guy. Why are people asking this rabbi? He didn't make it obvious to his constituents, yeah? Okay, that the halacha is no asking in this under these circumstances. Pirush, shatamad chacham b'mkoyim ha'yoloi lidrish b'pirkei lakol. He should have gotten up in shul kedei sheyedu kol ha'am v'lo yitztorchu l'shaloi. V'machoil b'atzmi yisrael she'yarav lo Shabbos koyven oisoi. Now, if the choil himself is a big tzaddik, you force him physically with Davran Aliboy and you talk to him. Shu chasidus shel shtus. It's stupidity. Shtus here. Shtus. It's stupidity to be makbid and go ask a rav. Okay. Says the Gemara, Omer Abayo, Mishosh Teishav. Meimosai psichas hakever. When is it considered that a woman, her womb is open? Omer Abayo, Mishosh Teishav Mashmer. When she sits down to give birth on the birthing table. Ravuna Bereder Rav Yishua. Yeah.
Don't forget.
Very nice. Siman Shochach. Don't forget this halacha. I think we're familiar with the halacha. Just once in a while, we want to be a little makbid and we run quickly to the Rav to ask a question. Not necessary. This is a situation you never ask a Rav. Ravuna Bereder Rav Yishua. So one shita is going on the birthing, whatever it's called. Ravuna Bereder Rav Yishua Amar Mishosh Adam Shoishes V'Yared. Once this is dam. So that could be before or after. When her friends have to carry her. How long does it last after the birth? 3 days after birth. Rav Amar Mishmei Rav Yehuda Shiva. 7 days. V'amilo Shloishim. Amri Naharda. So Taisus explains here that there's no machlokes. These are the different shiurim: 3, 7, and 30. Chayo Gimel Shiva v'Shloishim. So Shloisha, meaning from 0 to 3, from the time she gave birth until 3, whether she denies it, we already paskin like Mar Zutra, you have to be mekel. So even if she says, I don't need it, you think she needs it, Chal Shabbos. Shiva, meaning from 3 days to 7 days, Shabbos. If she requests it, you Mechal Shabbos. Like Mar Zutra said, she says, I don't need it, Mechal Shabbos. Shloishim, afilu omra, tzrichani, from 7 to 30, even if she says, I need it, Shabbos. You could do by a guy. So now she's considered a chayla, and any chayla, shem b'sakana, you can use a guy for refuah. Any chayla, you could do things through a guy. We're not talking about sakana. Obviously, sakana, you yourself are mechal Shabbos. No sakana, you get a guy. Omer Rav Yehuda, Omer Shmuel. Notice it says Shmuel here in the sugya a bunch of times. Shmuel is famous to being a doctor, and that's why he's very involved in the sugya. Omer Shmuel l'chayo shloishim yoim, 30 days. What does he say? Talking about? Amin ardal l'tfila. Your ledes should not go to the mikvah 30 days, within 30 days of her birth. Of the birth. So if her husband is not there, why is she going to the mikvah? She's going to the mikvah so she could eat tahara. She could eat food with tahara. Avo balo ima, balo mechamama through tashmish. The guf on the guf is mechamim. Kihad the brate the Rav Chizda tavlo begoy tlasin yomin. I might have said mistakenly that Rava was married to Shmuel's daughter like a week ago. It's Rav Chizda. Rav Chizda, famous Rav Chizda. Rava was married to his daughter, and she went to the mikvah 30 days within the childbirth, vitztanias, and she became cold, she got really sick. They schlepped her entire bed with her on it, rather to bring Rava to her, they brought her to Rava, and he was mechamem her. Omer Rav Yehuda Shmuel, again Shmuel, oisim edura l'chaya b'Shabbos. You can make a fire for a woman who gave birth, Perhaps the Havamina was, and we're going to see the Maskana not like that, you only make a fire for a woman who gives birth, but not for a sick person. Two pshatim here, but let's say we're talking about a chayil shein b'sakana. B'yimaisak shamim in, only when it's cold. B'yimaisak chama loy, it's not necessary even for a woman who gave birth in the summer. We'll skip this line. Omar of Chia bar Oven, Omar Shmuel, hikis dam v'nitztan. Again, it's Shmuel. So now this is the first time we're mentioning bloodletting today. We're going to be mentioning it quite often. It was huge in those days. Everybody was into this. Letting blood is healthy. How do you do it? When do you do it? Says Shmuel, if you let blood and you became cold, you got a cold, you make a fire, afidu betkufas tamos, even in middle of the summer. Says Rashi, if you do it for somebody that did bloodletting, so certainly for a chayla. So that's the psak. Before we said maybe a chayla not, and maybe in the summer not. No, you make fires for everybody. For a chayla, not only a woman who gave birth, for any sick person, and in the middle of the summer. The halacha is like Rashi, the Rambam is mechulek on Rashi. Okay. Says the Gemara, Shmuel, tzalchulei tachtaka deshaga. Tachtaka deshaga. So Shmuel once had bloodletting, and they needed a fire quickly. They took a very expensive chair made out of cedar, and they chopped it up, and they burnt it. Rav Yehuda tzalchulei psura deyoina. They took a table made out of this other type of cedar wood, says Rashi. L'rabba tzalchulei sharshifa, they took a footstool. Bekitza, they took expensive furniture, threw it into the fireplace to save these people from the cold. So Abai asked the question, there's an issa deraisa to chop down wood, to chop down healthy trees, certainly furniture. This is how the side of Bal Tashchis, and they can't just destroy things. Rabbi said this is also something they shouldn't remember. Shin Chav Ches, Omar Lei, Bal Tashchis de Gufoi Adifli. My body is not a joke either. It's better for me to destroy a bench than to destroy my body. So this is a side for life. Sometimes we don't have our priorities straight. We don't have our values straight. We lose a little money. What do? We stress, and we destroy our bodies. Over what? Over money. Over other things. You got to take care of your body first. Bal tashchis de gufe adif. It's an unbelievable concept. Omer Rav Yehuda Omer Rav, La'olam yimka adam kares beisoi v'yikach min olam l'raglov. Rashi explains, shoes are extremely important. It's a bizayon, it's a busha for any human being to walk barefoot. It's a sign of poverty. It doesn't get worse than that. Not having a pair of shoes. Sell the beams in your house to buy shoes. Hikis dam ve'lo mayoichal. If you let blood and you don't have what to eat, then even the shoes, even those shoes, that's how important it is to let blood. To have a suda to eat. Normally, you have to eat well after bloodletting. So here's another idea about bloodletting. What should you eat? Rav Omar Basar, Ushmul Omar Yain. Machlaikis, Rav and Shmuel, famous Rav and Shmuel. One says meat, one says wine. Why? Rav Omar Basar, Nafsha Cholaf Nafsha. Life will replenish life. The meat can replenish what you lost from the bloodletting. Ushmul Amar Yain Sumka Chalif Sumka. So I want you to remember the Shmuel just for a minute, not too long. Don't be shokachet. Shmuel says wine is red, and red replaces red. Okay, but what does Rav say? Rav says meat is life. Okay, says the Gemara. Shmuel b'yom avad milsa. When Shmuel let blood, avad milsa means letting blood. So they made him meat, a spleen, but again, it's red to replenish red. That's what's interesting. So it's meat, but it's red meat. Rabbi Yochanan drank so much wine until the aroma of wine came out of his ears. Rav Nachman shasi ad kopi tachle, till his spleen floated in wine. Rabbi Yosef shasi ad nafik mirivda de chusilta, until the wine came out of the hole that was caused by the bloodletting. I'm assuming these are all mishalim of some sort. Rava mahadar chamr bar tlosa tarfe. Rava was very makbid on wine that came from vines that were 3 years old. Some people say that it was aged for 3 years. Not what Rashi says. Yeah, but the problem with Rashi a little bit is like, how can you drink wine that's less than 3 years old? It's Arla. Says Rav Nachman to all his Talmidim, I'm begging you, go to your wives and lie to them and say, Nachman ikla legabon. Nachman, Reb Nachman is coming as a guest, so she's going to stress out, she's going to make a giant meal, and then you're going to have good food. So my kasha is, okay, but the Gemara later on says he's supposed to do bloodletting every month. So every month she's going to fall for this trick. Reb Nachman is coming. Ooh, Reb Nachman is coming. Okay, month number 1, great. Like my wife, she fell for it. The first time he said, and she walked away with the phone. But the next day, she already thought that was a joke. So that's why Rashi, it seems like Rashi's not goyrus to tell your wife. He doesn't say that word. He takes out the word. He just says, say it. It's a saying. Say, pretend. In other words, pretend to yourself, Reb Nachman is coming. So then everybody makes a nice meal. The point is, make a good meal. But though it's not to trick your wife. Says the Gemara, but there is some tricking going on here, trickery. V'chulu a'aroi me'asiri, all trickery is asur. Bar mahai arma deshari. Besides this trickery, I have a shayla for you, because I was talking to the guys on Zoom last night. In 1991, when the Bulls were playing the Lakers, we needed to watch the game, but nobody had a TV. We yeshiva guys. So we went to consumer distributions. There's a makam, special place. You open up a catalog and you go through and you say, okay, I want to buy this TV. Now, I was the big tzaddik. I was screaming, Neva, it's awesome. But I went with my friends, of course, and I even gave them some money. And you buy a TV, and no matter what, they take it back. So we watched the whole series. On Shabbos was a different shayla what the Olam did. Some guys left it on. So kids, not the get for now. But after, the crazy thing was, so we come back to return the TV that was half smashed because it fell off the garbage can. And there's 20 other yeshiva guys with TVs coming back like this to give back the thing. Mamish b'zyonis. Anyways, is that arama? Is that usher? What's going on here? So the Gemara says, yeah, returning the luggage to Costco with the rotten vegetables to Costco. Yeah, there's no returns in Costco in certain cities in America where certain people live. Anyway, fine. There's one trickery you're allowed to do. Man David Milsa, if a guy lets blood, and he doesn't have money to buy wine, he needs wine. Lishko Zuza Macha, he should take a worn out coin. He should go to 7 different stores. At the time, Shir Riviyasa. You go to each store will give you a 1/7 of a revius, basically 1/3 of an ounce. You say, look, I have money, I want to buy wine. Could I taste this? They give you a little, and then you give them the money. The guy looks at the money and says, what is this? This is a joke. Take your money back. Get out of here. Okay, fine, sorry. Then you go to the next store. You do the same trick until you drink a whole revius. Now, this is different than consumers distribution. Why? Because you're willing to buy the wine. Here's my money. You don't want the money, that's your problem. But to do a trick and take something and knowing that you're going to give it back, mamish aser. Now, I'm working on myself very, very much lately. We just learned the sugi of Dalin Kav Schus, and you have to have like a crooked brain for Dalin Kav Schus, Rav Hutner says. So today I'm putting you through a, what's it called? Okay, nobody's here to help me. Not a challenge, not a challenge, but okay, a demonstration. Here, there's a guy, I know, I'm serious. I went to the wine store and the guy says, you see that guy, he tells me Lashon Hara about a guy. See that guy? He constantly comes in here for wine tasting. Just for wine tasting. He's never bought a bottle in his life. So I'm blacklisting him from wine tasting. That's what he tells me in the wine store. So Rabbi Sai, we could be down the Kav Schus. No, maybe the guy had bloodletting. Maybe they did bloodletting that day, and he had to drink some wine. So he went for the wine testing. That's as I stated in Gemara. Fine. You have to be down the Kav Schus. If this trick doesn't work, eat 7 dates that are black. And you should smear a little oil on his temple. And lay in the sun. Avleit, excuse me, Avleit was the name of a guy. We're going to have him later on in the Masechta. he was laying down in the sun. The smartest man by the Jews, Bisha mihavetava, what? It's good to lay in the sun. Even those days they knew that those rays are not good for you. You should know that I had bloodletting, that's why I'm sitting in the sun. Shmuel did not tell him the truth. One day a year, the sun is extremely healthy for your body. The nafla tkufas tammuz, it's when tkufas tammuz here. I'm going to tell you the whole thing. Basically, you take this point and you go around, and I'm just kidding. When we're learning brachas, we went through this. I'm not going to go through it, but there's a day of the year called tkufas tammuz, and that day is very chashuv. I think on the side the goy is something else. Oh, tkufas tevis. So you have to figure out if it's tammuz or tevis. B'kitzur, we don't know what day it is, and Shmuel didn't want to tell that guy either. If you are lenient with dam, with the suda, so Hashem says, oh, Oimrim, he doesn't care about his own life. Why should I be careful with him? If you let blood, you shouldn't sit there where there's a strong wind. If the guy let him with almost no blood left, he took out most of his blood, he has a revius left. In other words, he has enough to live. And then that last wind comes and pulls out the minimum that's necessary to live. Shmuel would only do bloodletting in a place that had 7.5 rows of brick. How wide is a brick? Says Rashi, 3 tfachim. So 3 times 7.5, 22.5 tfachim. Okay, which is basically a little bit more than a 7-foot wide wall. One day, he did some bloodletting. All of a sudden, he feels that it's not good. He checked. A half a foot was missing. It's only 6.5 feet wide. He noticed the difference, says the Gemara. Rabbi Shmuel, you should taste something. Like a lot of times you do these blood drives, they give you something to eat afterwards. Because you're supposed to eat. If you don't eat, if you happen to see a dead person, your face will turn yellow. And if you bump into somebody to murder mayis, you will die. The turning, not the daf, not the Amid Beis, the turning of the daf, Kuf Chav Tes Amid Beis, is sponsored by official from official catering. And if somebody wants to sponsor Amid Beis, it's available, because just the turn part. Okay? Now, Rabbi Yisai, what's Dover Acher? I don't want to miss this. It's tricky to say sponsorships here. If you bump into a Dover Acher, the PIG, the famous PIG, we'll say it because a lot of people don't know PIG. If you bump into a pig, it could cause tsaras, because pigs have 9 parts, 9 chalakim of the tsaras that came down to the world. If a person did bloodletting, you shouldn't jump out. You shouldn't just jump. You have to rest, then go. Reminds me, I had once a little tiny thing on the bottom of my foot that was really bothering me. So my father-in-law told his best friend, he had a clinic, he says, take it off with a laser. So I sit down there, and the guy goes, zzz, okay, it's off. Literally 1 second. So I'm about to get up. So the 2 nurses says, no, you can't get up. We have a procedure that you're not allowed to get up for 10 minutes. I said, are you kidding me? He just did zzz. I know, there's nothing wrong with you, but we have a procedure. Protocol. So I'm sitting there for 10 minutes like a shaita, and I was getting upset. So after 10 minutes, she says, okay, you can get up. So I get up, and I purposely fall on the floor, and they're grabbing me and holding me, and I'm like, all over the place. This guy can never come back to the chutzpah. Americans, protocol, like you can't use your common sense. Fine. So you should not get up right away. It's protocol. You can mamish fall and have a bad time. Damar, hey dvarim kroivim lemisa yosim menachayim. There are 5 things that are closer to death than life. Veilohein, ochal va'amad. If you eat and stand up right away, so you're eating at a chas and all of a sudden the music, you have to chill and then get up. Shasa va'amad, or drinking and standing up. Yoshev, I don't have that problem because I just eat standing up the entire time. On Shabbos is different. Yoshev v'amad. Everybody knows this. This is like the first daf of Masechtas Brachas. Everybody knows the first daf in Mishnah Berurah. Shavisi Hashem lenegdi samid, and he says, Yizgaber kari, and then he says, it's very dangerous to stand up right away when you get up in the morning. Everybody knows that one. Yoshev v'amad, hikis dam v'amad, and bloodletting and standing up. Shimish mitasei v'amad. These are the 5 things that are dangerous. Omar Shmuel. Pursa the Dama, when do you do bloodletting? We cannot, this whole sugya is like not important to us. Like, whoever did bloodletting, besides the guy from the wine store, it's not a thing today. And we have to put our heads in this. They lived it, everything. You did bloodletting, I do, I'm going tomorrow. What day of the week, how, when? Ubeina prokim yemait. Now, every 30 days. Beina prokim means when you hit 40 years old, yemait, you should go to every 2 months. Ubeina prakim, and then when you hit 60, yachzer yimait. In other words, your body doesn't rejuvenate, it's not as hot. You might get a cold every 3 months. V'amar Shmuel, pursa the damo chabe shapso. You should do it on Sunday, arba on Wednesday, umali shapso on Friday. Aval sheni v'chamishi loy, never on Monday and Thursday. Domar mar mishi yesh li schus ovis yakis dam b'sheni v'chamishi. Only if you have the schus of your forefathers, then you could stand the Sheni v'Chamishi. Why? Shebezin shel ma'alo v'shel mata shavim ke'echad. That's when the Bezdin down here gets together on Monday and Thursday. The Bezdin up there starts scrutinizing all the people and seeing who has a chet, who needs a little bit of a punishment. They coincide, no good. How come not on Tuesday? Mishum de kaimele madim bezove. Because Mars is on even numbers. So, this is taken from Masara Heritage Foundation, from the Art Scroll. I don't know if you can see so well, but the point is that on Monday and the even hour, the 4th hour of the day, that's when you have Mars. And on Tuesday, on the 6th hour at night, and on the 8th hour, and on Friday, here's Friday, during the day. We don't care about night because that's not when people do bloodletting, during the night. So here you have again on Friday, I don't know if you can see. On Friday again, once again, you have right here, Mars. So the Mars is like this. When you have 2 things that coincide, 2 bad things. Mars represents dever, v'cherev, bad things. Hakazas dam is bad. So when you have hakazas dam and dever, v'cherev that coincide on the even number, bad news. Don't do it then. Says the Gemara, b'mali shapso, but on Friday, nami kaima b'zove. It also on the 8th hour, the 6th hour, and the 6th hour on Friday, it coincides, there's a Mars and the even number. Says the Gemara, kivin nedoshu be'rabim, shoyim b'soyim Hashem. Since people were noyeg to do hakazas dam on Friday, why? Explains Rashi, because you need to eat fish after you do bloodletting, and they didn't have money for fish. But on Shabbos you eat fish, so they pushed it off to Friday. Unbelievable. So since it became a minhag, and even though it's a bad one, shoymer p'soyim Hashem. Hashem will protect those fools that are not careful. Omar Shmuel. Dalid, Dehu Dalid. In other words, Wednesday, the 4th, that is in the 4th day of the month. Dalid, Wednesday, Du Arbeisar, the 14th of the month. Dalid, Du Esrim Arba, or the 4th day of the Wednesday, which is the 24th. Dalid, Deleka Arba Besrei, or Wednesday, which doesn't have another 4 days after to the end of the month. Sakanto. All these are dangerous for bloodletting. Rish Chodesh, V'sheni Loi Chulsha. The 1st day of the month, 2nd day of the month, will weaken you up very much, so don't do it then. Shlishi loy, the 3rd day of the month, sakana is dangerous. Mali yom etava chulsha. Erev yantav will bring weakness. Mali yom edatzarto, and Erev shvuas, sakanta is dangerous. Listen to this. Erev shvuas is dangerous. V'gazru rabbanan akula mali yom etava mishum yom etava datzeres, and rabbanan made gzeira all Erev yom tovim because of Erev shvuas. The Novik Beizikwa, because there's a spirit, Ushmei Tavayach. His name is Tavayach. Diloi Kibli Yisrael Torah, have a Tavach Lula B'Sarayu, V'Ledemayu. If Klai Yisrael wouldn't accept the Torah, then this spirit, Zika, Mr. Tavayach, would destroy Klai Yisrael. The Marsha says that his name is Tavayach or Tavuach, that because we accepted the Torah, we destroyed him. Fine, he says, talking about the Yetzer Hara, the Satan. What do you see from the sugya? A very, very interesting aside. It's not that we are here and the days pass us by. Rather, the days are here and we are traveling through the days. In other words, Yontif is here every single year. We happen to be visitors. We're going by Yontif. We go by Shavuos. So just like Shavuos, 2,000 years ago, when Klal Yisrael accepted the Torah, they had to accept the Torah, and if not, this Malach will come and destroy us. We cannot bloodlet today because this Malach could destroy us. In other words, we have to, so when Shavuos comes, we have to re-accept the Torah. It's not like, we have something to commemorate Shavuos that happened then. We have Pesach today we're going out of slavery. Today's Pesach, we're going out of slavery today. This year, because what happened then happens today, every day. That's how it works. It's a very interesting insight. Today, this year, is Shavuos again. It's Shavuos to the point that if I don't accept the Torah, this Malach is going to come and be mazik me. Omar Shmuel, ochal chito ve'ekis dam. Says Shmuel, against Shmuel, if you eat wheat and then you do bloodletting, it was only beneficial for that wheat that you did. But don't worry about it. You're not going to get the medicinal benefits from it. It's going to make your body lighter. Hamekis dam, shtil alter. No attendant, I just needed to drink. Hamekis dam, shtil alter. You should drink right away. Achilo ad chatzi mil. And if eating, you should eat up to a mil. Ibaylu teiku shtil alter ma'ali. If you drink immediately, it's good. But you shouldn't drink. Is it trying to tell you when not to drink? It's just telling you when it's good, but afterwards it's parav. Teiku. Ibaylu. Achila chatzi milhu. The kamali that you should eat up until a half a mil is good. But after a half a mil worth, before and after is bad. Teiku. Machaz Rav. Rav used to announce, if you want to buy gourds, pumpkins, you shouldn't pay more than one zuz, which is a very small denomination, for 100. In other words, it has no nutritional value, garbage. Me'er reishi, 100 heads of an animal, bezuzah. Me'os fame, 100 lips, v'loy klum. They're worthless, mamish worthless. There's such a lashon today in Hebrew also. The day that people were lazy, in other words, ben azmanim. That's how they call ben azmanim. They would say, Yom Tzfamehu. It's a day of lips. I never understood what it meant. Today, I understand what it means. Lips are worthless. So when the Talmidei Chachamim are in Ben Azmanim, they're not learning Torah, it's a worthless day. You tie the umbilical cord, you cut it, and you bury the placenta. So this is like a heebie-jeebie thing. You take the placenta, and you bury it over here, and the baby over there, the baby becomes warm. If you're very wealthy, you're a daughter of a king, a princess, you bury it in these jugs of oil. You put it in wool. If they're very poor, in rags. That you cut the umbilical cord. Remember, we said Rashi says if you don't, it could get caught on something and then it'll pull out the intestines. Today you say because it'll bleed. The name of Rav. If they are twins, you cut them. My time because they pull away from each other. That's dangerous. We're not referring to the Teichacha that we say, the Bakara, he says it lowly and quickly. We're talking about Teichacha in Yecheskel. Because Baruch Hu says that Klal Yisrael is like a baby. They don't appreciate me. They're like a baby girl that was left, that was abandoned. Okay? Teichacha is in the Chaya b'Shabbos. Sorry. Yeah, Kol Amar Pash Teichacha is in the Chaya b'Shabbos. So everything that's mentioned in that pasuk, you do on Shabbos. Shenemar. Who led this Oisach? When you were born that day, they didn't cut the umbilical cord. So we're going to go in the reverse. In other words, you're supposed to cut it. And they didn't even rinse you. So you're supposed to rinse, even on Shabbos. These are halachas for Shabbos. And they didn't salt you. You're supposed to salt even on Shabbos. And they didn't swaddle you. You're supposed to swaddle, straighten out the bones. You're supposed to give birth. You're supposed to help deliver a baby on Shabbos. You cut the umbilical cord on Shabbos. You should bathe the child even on Shabbos with hot water. You should salt the baby. You should swaddle the baby on Shabbos. Hadrun aloch mefanin. Hadrun aloch, the 18th parak of Masechet Shabbos, mefanim. Today, let's say Tehillim for one of our Chabura whose wife needs Tehillim. L'refuas Zahava bas Malka Chana. If everybody could please say, L'refuas Zahava bas Malka Chana. Shkoyach. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Noam. Im Chas li cholem anti v'rei.